Today on Future Appliance Guy, we talk about washers and how they're not like the ones you grew up with in your childhood. Hello and welcome to another episode of Future Appliance Guy, where we find your perfect appliance to make your home complete. I'm your host, Mateus Clement, and today we're going to talk about washers and how far they have come. Holy smokes. When I started selling appliances, I was not ready for the new age of washers. So when it comes to washers, you basically have two different kinds of options. You have your top loading style and your front loading style. So what are the pros and cons between the two? That's where I like to start. Top loading has really changed. You have a few different options when you have top loading nowadays. You can go for your traditional agitator, which may look like this or like this. And if you are looking at an agitator, I really recommend this. And the reason being is that agitators are designed to move the laundry around. You'll find with the bladed agitators that what'll happen is they'll actually keep the bottom clothes on the bottom of the bin, whereas the corkscrew kind is designed to actually bring clothes from the bottom up to the top, and it actually causes them to move around so that your clothes on the bottom just don't stay there and wind up the most soiled. So if you are going to go for an agitator, go for the corkscrew style. It is much better. It is a little harder on your clothes, which does give you another alternative. There are agitator-less drums, and what they have is they have ridges on the side. Diamond drumming is one of the names that comes up. And what that does is it helps still agitate your system, and just the way that the washer moves around will cause the clothes to circulate. So you won't get that same problem where the clothes are only going to stay on the bottom. From there, you have your front-loading washer, which people seem to love or hate. The first generation of front-loading washers had this horrible tendency to keep water and soap in the bottom, and it would cause this weird smell going on. And you'd have to actually clean your tub quite frequently with an empty load in order to get that out. That has drastically changed in the newest generation of front-load washers, where now the closest thing I find to maintenance on my front-load washer is the fact that when I open it, I have to rub the inner ring, which actually causes the waterproof seal, just with a damp cloth. That helps keep that out and no particulate developing in there and causing any smells. Other than that, the front load washers have huge benefits compared to what you will have in a top loading washer. They are more energy efficient. They are more water efficient, using a third of the water that you're going to find in a top loading system. And they're also a lot more forgiving when you tend to overload, because we're all guilty of that. So you have a little more latitude, water efficiency, energy efficiency. And with that water efficiency means that you should be only using roughly a tablespoon of liquid concentrated soap nowadays. Any more than that, and that's what could very well be causing that musty smell that happens. A lot of these front load washers now have a cleaning cycle that you should run about every 20 cycles, and it's an empty load, and it helps clean out all that excess soap that may have built up in there. But once again, minimize the amount of soap used in a front loading washer. So from there, when it comes to front load washers, a few other things have come out on the market that are very interesting. LG, in one of their series, has a turbo wash feature. Now that turbo wash feature works by using jets from overhead to make sure that your wash and rinse cycles happen faster. They soak your clothes faster so that you actually get a faster load, and you can save 20 minutes per load on them. So if you find yourself doing a lot of loads, LG's Turbo Wash is fantastic. Plus the entry-level model that has the Turbo Wash on it has quite a large capacity, 4.6 cubic feet, I believe, and that's large enough to be able to do a king-size set of bedding. That's your sheeting, your duvet, your everything. And it will do it all at once without having to do an extra cycle at all. So it's quite a bit of space in case you're looking for larger loads as well as faster loads. Another cool feature that LG has is its TruSteam engine. Now, why would you need steam in your washer? Well, by using steam and TruSteam, what it means is that you actually fill up a little reservoir and you attach that and put that into your washer, and by using the steam, it actually removes 99.5% of allergens out of your clothes and bedding. So this is really handy in case you got a lot of kids running out in the woods or you're working with a lot of livestock. It's good for getting rid of dust mites, bed bugs, fleas, anything of that nature. And it also helps permeate the clothes a lot more thoroughly so that you actually get a better wash. And once again, this is why you can use less soap with your steam washes. So very cool feature with the steam. That feature is actually in a pair just below the LG Turbo Wash. So you would lose the Turbo Wash, but you still keep the steam. And that's a great feature to have to make sure that your clothes get thoroughly cleaned in what they do. Last but definitely not least is the direct drive motors that are coming in a lot of the mid-range washers nowadays. So instead of your conventional belt system that ran off of a motor before, now you have direct drive, which is actually just an electromagnetic clutch, meaning that there's no belt to move. So your vibration is drastically removed, meaning that you're able to have it on a second floor without making it sound like Godzilla is attacking you from above. And that direct drive is also more energy efficient, but it also has smart features. Samsung has it, LG has it, and what it is, it's a vibration control method, meaning that if your load becomes too heavy on one side, it will actually change the cycle to make sure that it redistributes the clothes and then continues the cycle in case you're getting that whomp, whomp, whomp kind of sound going on. So the direct drive is more energy efficient, it's smarter, and it's also guaranteed for 10 years. Now I will note that while the part is guaranteed for 10 years under most manufacturers when it comes to the motor, that the labor is not. So you want to keep that in mind when considering extended warranties and service plans. But other than that, that's all I have for washers on this episode of Future Appliance Guy. If you have any questions about washers, stoves, dryers, small appliances, etc., you feel free to email me at futureapplianceguy@gmail.com, and I'll try my best to answer your questions. And just a friendly reminder that I do work on commission, so if you have any purchase needs, please feel free to come into the store and help me out, and I can continue making cool videos like this. And I hope to see you on the next episode of Future Appliance Guy.